What on earth made us think to come to Moroccan Sahara? That's also known as Western Sahara for those of you struggling to find Moroccan Sahara on the map. While some people say that there is absolutely nothing to do on this section of the map, and yes, it is true, it is one very long road all the way down the coast that you will drive all the way down and then you will drive all the way back up again. But we have found some of the most spectacular wild spots to park up in. In fact, we found probably our top 3 spot that we have ever parked in Bebe. So you know what? It just goes to show that you don't need to listen to what everybody says because you have to just drive your own road.
Well, we are just packing up, getting ready to leave this beautiful spot that we've been in for the last, 4 days, I think. Just parked up by the beach. Beautiful. Walk down to the secluded bay behind us. The water's warm and shallow and the beach is flat and sandy. Really, really stunning location. And over that way is that white dune that you saw us playing on last week. But it is time to move on. We need to get some water. It's been about 10 or 12 days since we last filled up and we are getting low. We're not out yet, but we are certainly getting a bit low. So time to go and find some more water in Dakar, in the city, and also, as you might be able to see, although I think the sun's doing a reasonable job of making it shiny, Bebe is pretty damn grubby. So we're going to try and find a car wash somewhere or a truck wash and give her a little bit of a clean. So that's today's jobs. Time to move. Well, we're currently waiting at the airport, of all places, for a water delivery. It's not coming by plane, I'm told. That would be really weird. But yeah, we've pre-booked some water, and so some bloke with a tanker should hopefully be turning up very soon. It's a different way of doing things here because obviously we are in the desert, so there's not that much water around, although driving through Dakar you'd be surprised with the number of fountains and the amount of greenery. But yeah, fingers crossed, this bloke actually turns up with his water tanker of water and we can fill up our tanks.
Waiting for sunshine. Waiting for sunshine.
Well, our water guy has arrived. Now, obviously, we are in we're in a town, but it's kind of in the Sahara, so it's pretty dry around here. And they have a business of delivering drinking water rather than relying on some of the water wells and whatever, which by all accounts can either be a little bit sulphurous or a little bit salty. Certainly not something we want to be putting in our tanks. These guys have set themselves up like little cottage industries. They've got multi-stage filtration, they've got reverse osmosis, and they're producing potable water that they're then trucking around in these things. So this is a little Isuzu jobby with, I don't know, someone who's got much better estimation of volume than me will tell me I'm wrong, but 1,500 litres, 2,000 litres maybe of water, potable water in a stainless steel tank. And you just make an appointment. We're currently outside the airport. I mean, where else can you park a truck that close to an international airport? It's bonkers. Anyway, so you make an appointment, you come here, you park up, this dude rocks up, got a little pump on board, and away it goes. Just water out, past the little pump, along here, and there he is, there's our dude. There he is, he's the man, bringing the water. Craziness.
Waiting for sunshine. Waiting for sunshine.
And that's it, like, I don't know what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and Bebe's once again full of water. 400 litres in, and that cost us 150 dirham, which for those of you in the UK, that's like, I don't know, 12 quid, 10, 12 quid. And that's now going to last us for another, oh, I don't know, another couple of weeks, I guess, before we need to find some more. So definitely going to give us a good bit of range before we've got to find water again. I nearly let on which direction we were going to go then, didn't I? But I managed to hold back. You nearly caught me out. Anyway, done with water. It's now time for some lunch and a little bit of provisioning of food. So we have made it to the Tropic of Cancer.
That's Expedition Road. That's Mary and Andy with Tango.
Now, last week we said that we weren't sure if we were going to go to Mauritania or not. We have decided. What have we decided?
We are not this time.
Not yet. The reason is we've been looking at the temperature. It's kind of mid to high 40s in some of the places we want to go to, and I don't think this little one and that furry one there are going to deal with those kind of temperatures. However, we could not come here, could we?
No.
Just so we could get to the Tropic of Cancer. We are in fact going to go a little bit further that way, down there, because there's some nice places down there we want to go and see, but pretty much this is going to mark the probably our turning point now. You know, we're another 50 kilometers down there, and then we'll be turning around, coming right back past this sign again and heading that way, back north, into Morocco.
Morocco.
Well,
yeah. Wow.
the rest of Morocco, we should say.
Yeah.
So we're going to probably get into Morocco and go right, head east, Zagora, Mazouga, cut back across the country up to the Atlas Mountains. There is so much to see.
Heaps.
We kind of better get going, haven't we?
Better get cracking.
Right, let's get Isla back in. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Well, after not that much of a drive, about 100 kilometres from where we were, we have found ourselves in a spectacular lunar landscape. We found this spot on iOverlander and it just said in the white dunes, and my God, they weren't lying. Look at this. Literally just surrounded by dunes. Well, it's time for this turn, girl. It's clean. So we've said before that the best thing about travelling is the people you meet on the road, and no exception. We pulled into a fuel station to get some fuel and wash Bebe, and we met Hampus.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Hampus, what are you doing with a bike down here in this horrible wind?
Just traveling a bit, enjoying the tailwind actually.
Is it a tailwind?
Yeah.
Where have you come from?
From Marrakech
And you're going to?
to Dakar in Senegal, and hopefully a bit further, but at least Dakar. in
Okay, and
Senegal.
how long have you been travelling?
For about 2 months.
You've been going 2 months so far,
Yeah,
and you've got how much longer to go, do you reckon?
or at least to Dakar, 1.5 months,
Okay,
and then maybe we'll keep going a bit, me and my friend, a bit
Okay.
further down south.
and for what reason?
Well, long story short, I just kind of reassessed my life and my values and so on, and I'm not really into being in an office. I like being outside, and I thought I might as well make a go for it and
Okay.
do something I've always dreamt of doing.
And you've done anything like this before?
Not quite. I went from France to Portugal on bicycle,
Okay.
but that's a lot more comfortable, I'd say.
Yeah.
And easier. So I think it's a good way to challenge oneself, and as you said, you meet people along the way and you see places you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So
And where are you staying?
I stay in my tent.
In your
Always
tent?
Yeah, always.
Like side of the road, or do you try and get into the dunes a bit, or wherever you can?
Yeah, usually try to get out in the dunes a bit,
Yeah.
but sometimes, it's basically next by the road, 100 meters, and just next by the road, wherever I can
Nice.
find a place.
And, well, 2 months going so far.
Yeah.
Top story, on the spot, think of it.
Top story. Well, it's got to do with people's hospitality down here. I was just during Ramadan at 6:30, 7 in the evening. I was bicycling through 4 or 5 villages, and I was offered food 13 times in 1 hour. I've
Wow.
never encountered hospitality such as that. It's absolutely fantastic.
Did you say yes to any of them?
I had to at some point. Yeah.
You're like, I'm getting hungry now. Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, I'll
stop.
go for it. Yeah.
And was it worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Some good peaches and famous soup and whatnot. Perfect.
Amazing. It is, isn't it? It's the people you meet.
Yeah, it really is.
And the stories you get to tell afterwards. Well, I mean, this is
Yeah.
it's an awesome bike.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So
Um,
far, so good.
Heavy?
Yeah, quite heavy. About 40, 45 kilos all in all. Yeah, it's
With
quite
water?
heavy. No, unfortunately not. That's
Thank God.
another.
And how much
8.
water are you carrying?
Usually I try to carry maybe 5 liters.
Okay.
5 liters. Yeah.
Keeps you going for about a day.
Yeah, at least.
Nice.
So that's pretty good, depending on the wind, that is. But yeah.
Well, I mean, people think that we're having an adventure, but it is nothing compared to this.
It's a bit different, yeah.
I mean, hats off, huge respect.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we will. We're going to put Hampus's social media in the description below, so go check him out.
Perfect.
Have a great trip.
Absolument.
Thanks
Thank
very
you,
much.
man. Likewise.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah. Cheers.
Can you guess what time it is? It's time for This Week in Numbers. So, kilometres driven,
929,
solar yield,
64 kilowatt hours,
epic park ups,
three epic park ups in 1 week.
times we've been moved on.
Once. Our first ever. Honestly, who'd have believed it? And finally, calamity Jess moments.
None.
Go figure. Now, as you have just heard, we have had a big fat zero calamity Jess moments this week. In fact, we've had a big fat zero calamity Jess moments for the last few weeks. Now, I do not think for 1 second Jess has become less calamitous around Tep. Strangely, it coincides with me getting one of these. When I was last back in the UK, I met up with a friend of mine who works for F-Stop, and he said, "Here Dave, take one of these, have a play with it, let us know how you get on." It's called a Wraps, and it's made of algal foam. So it's nicely environmentally friendly, and it's shock absorbing. And it's kind of self-adhesive, it sticks to itself. It's a bit like Velcro, but really, really, really fine Velcro. Now, it is actually really quite useful. Anytime I go to give Jess a bit of camera equipment, I take one of these, I'm going to use a Canon Speedlight flash as an example, and I wrap it up, a bit like a burrito. Quite good at rolling burritos. And only when it's like that, sealed up tighter than a duck's butt, is Jess allowed to handle it. Stick it in her bag, whatever, and you know, drop it, whatever, it seems to be fine. Now, I am told that this algal foam, despite only being, what's that? Not many millimeters thick, really, really quite thin, will stop an egg breaking if you drop it on there. So I kind of think we should find out. Got an egg, got some kitchen roll. Angus, Druid, if you're watching, if this makes a mess, you're in serious trouble. Right, it's a real egg. I'll show you that in a moment. Let me put this here next to Otis. And let's see what happens. It's sitting on a hardwood table, a nice solid oak table. Would you look at that? It didn't break. Let's do that again, shall we? Ha! 2. Once more. Now, for those of you that don't believe that that's a real egg, you think it might be hard-boiled. Impressed. Thumbs up, F-Stop. Recommended by us.
Well, that's it for this week, guys. You know, this part of the world, contrary to popular opinion, is absolutely spectacular. This week we're going to be heading northeast into the dunes of Zagora and Mazuga to explore further into the heart of Morocco. So join us next week, and if you haven't already, please, please, please hit the subscribe button below. Why can I not just get it fucking right the first time like everybody else?
And now to clean it up.